Hey everyone, I'm your fave nurse B. So today I was going through like my little filing, little cabinet thing that I have, and I found another naughty nurse list. So if you all don't know what this is, basically it's a newsletter that the State Board of Nursing sends out to nurses that shows you like little nurse news. They have like job listings in there as well, and the most important thing they have is it talks about different disciplinary actions that were held against nurses, and it gives you an idea of why they may have had these why they had the action against them. And it's basically a good way for you to learn what not to do in the field of nursing and what can get you in trouble. I do have 2 videos about this already. I'll link those down below, but let's get right into the video. I have not read these yet, so let's see if we can find some good ones. Okay, in December 2018, it was reported that licensee was found with an IV and lactated ringers infusing in her arm in the locker room. What the heck? During an investigation of the incident, it was found that some fluid bags were removed by licensee under different patient names, despite these specific patients not having an order for an IV. Girl, child. Now, did this person get theirs taken away? It says censure, which I don't know what censure. I think I talked about this in the last video, but they said that the person had their license censured in 2019. Yeah, so with this situation, like, how did you not know you were going to get caught? I just need you to go to some type of, like, don't they have nurses that come to your house and administer IV lactated ringers for you? Like, you could have went to a, what do they call them? Like the med spas and got this done. Like, girl, like, seriously, like, was you intoxicated the night before? You needed to wake up? Like, how did you not know that this was going to come back on you? I don't know. Anywho, next person. Let's see. Licensee practiced nursing in Missouri without a license from May 2017 to 2020. From May 2017 to July 2019. Dang. So for 2 years, almost 3 years, you didn't. 2 years, let's just say 2 years. 2 years you didn't have a license. Like, how does anybody get jobs without license? I don't know how they do that. Like, on the application, they have you put in a license number. That's why I don't know. How does this happen? Like, can anybody tell me, like, what's the scoop? Like, how do people get jobs without a license? Does anybody know how people are doing this? Like, please let me know. Anyways, on March 27th, 2018, licensee gave one of her personally prescribed Xanax pills to a coworker whom licensee believed to be having an anxiety attack. Licensee admitted to giving her coworker a Xanax pill that was from her personal prescription. Licensee's act of giving her coworker a Xanax pill was not pursuant to a physician order. How does that get you to have issues with your license? It's not like you're giving it to a patient. It's not like you're taking a patient's medication. You're giving I understand that you shouldn't give your prescription to anybody else. I thought that was just like a general thing, but I didn't know that was a law. Like, that's a law? I mean, I haven't been prescribed anything except for some dang on iron pills, but y'all, I did not know this. I did not know you can get in trouble for giving somebody your prescription. So who told? Like, did the person end up having to go to the, I'm wondering, like, did the person end up having to go to the hospital or get sent home? And the person's like, oh yeah, I went ahead and gave her one of my Xanax. And somebody was like, what? And that person reported to somebody else, and then they reported to the State Board of Nursing. Like, how does it get this big? Like, I don't get this. This was in Aurora, Missouri. Dang, that's messed up. That right there, I feel like, should you really get it? Like, that's, like, who did that? Somebody specifically wanted this person to get in trouble. Had to. Like, that seems very harmless. Like, I get it, you're not supposed to give somebody your prescription meds. I get it. But is that against the law? I guess because you're a nurse, you should know better. But it's like, okay, this is just something I'm doing. But wow. Okay, that was a very messed up mistake. All right, let's get to the next person. Licensee received verbal warnings in May of 2015 and November 2016 for habitual tardiness. Okay, you're a habitual tardy person. On February, in February 2017 and June. Okay, yeah, okay, all these different times I got verbal warnings. Okay, licensee received written reprimands for excessive tardiness with warnings that if the pattern of tardiness continued, she would be terminated. So the person was terminated in November 2017 for not filing VFC reports in a timely manner, insubordination, poor communication, poor time management, and habitual tardiness. Licensee was escorted to her office to remove her belongings. In licensee's desk were 8 bottles of pills. Oh, Lord. Now, this is the problem. Y'all could have just got straight to the problem. Licensee stated that all of the bottles of medication in the desk drawer were from a former patient who had been treated for TB. She stated that she had not disposed of these medications. Licensee administered numerous TB tests between September 2017 to November 2017 using expired she was using expired PPD, like the actual tuberculin purified protein, which is, so if nobody knows what the heck this is, I know a lot of y'all will know, but basically when a person comes to a facility, you test them to see if they have TB. What you're doing is you're giving them something called tuberculin purified protein. It has a lot number, it has expiration date, it has all this information that you have to document when you give the when you're administering this test to see if the person has active TB. I don't know how they could have said that she was doing it with expired TB, like, because you have to document it. So I guess she documented and expired, like she had documented that it was expired. Like when you documented, you knew it was expired when you documented it. Whew. All TB tests given after August of 2017 were required to be retested to ensure accurate results. So yeah, this is like a lot of things. So the person got fired because basically they just wasn't doing their job right with the issue with the expired TB. Then they got the information about the 8 bottles of pills in the drawer. Okay, and then they had the thing about her getting fired because of the excessive tardiness. No, habitual tardiness, poor communication, all of that. So this person just all around just need to get their life together. But my thing is, why did y'all have to put all this extra information? Like the 8 bottles, like did they get in trouble because of the 8 bottles too? Like, so why did they lose their license? Did they lose their license? I'm guessing they lost their license because of the TB. Because just getting fired is not something gonna make you have issues with your license. But I have to see what censure mean. I have to look that up again. But it had to be with the TB because that's public health, and that's probably what this person was probably like a infection control nurse in the facility who probably makes sure that all of the health workers there have, which also that made me think about the workers too, because you have to do TB tests on workers too, like new hires, and then everybody gets their annual TB. So makes me think that they have to retest them as well. But also, like, usually, like with pharmacy, once they send something out to you and they see that you haven't refilled it in a while, it might like they're supposed to come, like pharmacy's supposed to come around and do a like they check, they make sure that you're still, like, you're not giving expired meds. They make sure that, like, you don't have meds that people have died or is the wrong prescriptions and all that. Like, they audit you. Like, at least the places I've been to, pharmacy is constantly coming and auditing you. They're calling you. They're saying this was not in the computer the right way. Like, they're on you about this stuff. And so I don't see how this happened. And even when, like, you haven't refilled something, they might be like, hey, you haven't refilled this in such and such amount of time. Like, how are you still giving this medication? Which I've seen places get in trouble because of that. I guess pharmacy wasn't notifying them because they had said that stuff was, like, not being ordered for, like, months. And people were still saying, oh, yeah, I gave her Keppra. Anywho, I digress. Oh, dang, it's another one. It's another one with them dang on cold status. In November 2018, licensee reported to management that a patient had passed away. When speaking with management and asked cold status, Licensee indicated that the patient was a full cold. When questioned if CPR was initiated, licensee admitted to giving just 4 or 5 chest compressions. She further admitted that she did not check the patient's cold status before responding to the situation, nor did she call 911. Woo! 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 That's scary. That's scary. Oh, I guess I should tell y'all. Okay, so the person who did that was an LPN. The person who did the lactated ringers was an RN. The person who gave the Xanax was an LPN. And the person who had all them pills in her desk was giving out expired TB tests and had the habitual tardiness was an RN. Okay, let's move on. Now, those people who have had censures to their licenses. Let's go to people who have probation. Ooh. What is that? Okay, listen. July 2016, applicant pled guilty to Class C felony of possession of controlled substance, except 35 grams or less of marijuana, methamphetamine. I thought it was just marijuana cannabis. What's marijuana methamphetamine? Like, I need to look this up. What is that? Like, is that something else? Is that like a new thing? And what's so crazy, this happened in 2022. Marijuana is now legal in Missouri. Okay. It started in the beginning of 2023. I don't know. Oh, meth-laced weed. Okay. People do that? Like, come on, why do you need both? Like, I feel like when you just smoke. If you're going to smoke weed, just smoke weed, child. But if you're going to do meth, like, why you need both? Like, I feel like they're two different parties, okay? There's two different parties. Meth is its own party. Marijuana is its own party. Like, why they gotta be partying together? Like, I don't see it. But I guess so. So, meth-laced weed. Y'all can see I'm so, like, what is this? Okay, so yeah, that do sound illegal. The marijuana part, okay. But the methamphetamines, anywho, this person was only put on probation from 2019 to 2021. All right, let's go to the next nurse. That was an LPN in Dexter, Missouri. This one is a RN in Kansas City. It's a male nurse, got a male name. So, on or about September 2017, licensee was observed changing out multiple sharps container and attempting to open a sharps container, and remove items with forceps. Dude, first off, that's dangerous as hell. Secondly, like, who's seeing you do this? Like, if you're gonna do stuff like this, why is everybody seeing you do it? Anyway, let me move on. When questioned by facility administrators, licensee was found to have in his possession 1 syringe hypodermic safety needle, 1 syringe of 0.9 sodium chloride, and 1 small bottle of 0.9 sodium chloride, and a small bottle of Toradol. Licensee submitted to a 4-cause drug and alcohol screen, which returned positive for fentanyl and marijuana. Okay, so I guess people do mix the two. The parties is there. If you can't get one, you got the other. But I don't know. I see a little smoky smoke, but you're going to take it to that party. I mean, they do say it's the gateway drug, though. So the nurse was trying to just getting everything. They was trying to get the Toradol out of there so they can go ahead and, pump it up. So, anyhow, my thing is, why is everybody seeing you do this? Like, why does everybody see you doing this? And one, like, how, first off, typically we don't put meds in sharps containers. But I guess you could put it in there because it is in a bottle. But typically with the meds, it's like a separate, it is a sharps container. It is a sharps container, but like sometimes they add like, some people will add water to it, or they'll add like this substance to it. I don't know what it's called, but it's like something that it's like a liquid. It's a big old jug, a white jug, and you add it inside of there. I don't even know what's the proper way to get rid of meds that's like morphine and things like that when you're done, but it's like this little container we just put it in there, and it's all mixed in there, and it look nasty as hell. It is usually in a storage container or like a different container, and you can't get back inside of it. You can only like pour it in there a little bit, but I mean, you could possibly be able to get back in there. So there's that. But yeah, like, why did anybody, I don't know, people when they on stuff and they need it, they will go to anything. Nurses do have substance abuses. There needs to be more videos and knowledge about. They need to talk about this more in schools. Nurses have substance abuse issues. Nurses have a lot of freaking issues. There's a lot of nurses out there. Okay, it's a lot of different people who become nurses. So they be having problems just like everybody else. Yeah. So let's move on. How do they dispose of narcotics at your job? I wish this necklace was up here. That'd be so much cuter. Ooh, I love collarbone. Does anybody else love collarbones and shoulders and backs? And like, I love upper body. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm getting back in the gym. Been working out. Feeling really good. Anyways, let's move on. How do they dispose of narcotics at your job? Let me know. I don't know how they do it in the hospitals. I'm thinking it's similar to how, well, like I said, I've seen people put sharps, like heparin bottles and things like that in a sharp container, because it is technically a sharp. But to go fishing through a sharp container and you getting drugs out of it, and you know that like there's needles in there that like have people's blood on there within it, and it's just like, ugh. Woo. But then again, I've been around a nurse that started fishing through the trash can for fentanyl patches. So like, stuff happens, y'all. That's another video, but let's move on. Let's see if this is a good one. This might be good. This was in New York. So this is not just, this person must have worked in Missouri, that's why it's popping up. But let's see, this was in New York, in RN. So in March of 2018, the Colorado State Board of Nursing issued a stipulation and final agency order admonishing respondents' Colorado nursing license due to respondent admittedly submitting to fraudulent diploma to a potential employer indicating that she had received a Bachelor of Science in Nursing when she had actually received an Associate's in Nursing. Okay. Pursuant to the order, respondent was required to complete a board-approved ethics course within 12 months of the excessive date of order. In March of 2019, the Colorado Board of Nursing issued an order of suspension, indefinitely suspending respondent's nursing license effective in May 2019. And they got the time too. They said effective May 19, 2019 at 5 p.m. due to respondent's failure to complete the required ethics course. So this person didn't even lose their license. Their license is on probation. It's still on probation from 2019 to 2024. Which you think they out here still, they didn't got some of that COVID money. You know they still out here working. I don't care what nobody. If this person over here, Carol from St. Louis, Missouri, can work without a license from 2017 to 2019, I know for sure that Natalie from Watertown, New York, registered nurse, I know for sure this person worked during COVID and got that COVID money. My thing is, okay, so first you apply for a job. It's not even your actual employer, potential employer, and put that you got a BSc in when you have an associate's degree in nursing. And then on top of that, all you had to do was go to an ethics course, and they gave you 12 months to do it, and you didn't go. So my thing is, maybe this person just said, forget it, I'm not going to work as a nurse anymore. Or they just, yeah, maybe that's what they did. They decided they're just going to work, they're not going to work as a nurse anymore, or they were embarrassed. But I mean, you're taking a class, so it don't matter. You're just going to the class. Yeah, that seemed, maybe they just gave up on nursing, because that's the only reason I can see why you wouldn't just go to the class. Not like you had like a substance abuse issue and they made it so that you have to go do like alcohol screening or something like that, or you know, drug testing, and no, you just have to go take a class, and they gave you 12 months to do it. So I don't get it. You work so hard for the license, spend all this time and money getting it, and then you don't want to even fight to keep it. Whatever. Maybe they just wasn't gonna work as a nurse no more, child. Maybe they went to school, get that BSc. I don't know. Make it make sense. Oh wait, let's read this. I didn't even read this. Okay, this is a long one. So it says from December 5th, 2018 until the I don't want to read that. Let's find another one. Child, what they talking about here? Okay, let's read this.